you the other show that you're on. You know you're on another show, right?
What's that?
You're on the casting couch, bro. You know that, right? You're on the casting couch over here on OnlyFans, bro. You still got that tooth that you lost there? Because I literally tweeted out yesterday. Do you still have like the actual tooth that fell out?
No, I don't have the tooth that fell out, but I got fake teeth that I put in all the time.
Steve's gonna bust my balls because I tweeted out the other day, yesterday, or maybe it was today, that I want to get a necklace made out of all fighters' teeth that fell out. And then I'm scrolling through the internet and I see that somebody's ear got bit off yesterday.
Oh,
at a
damn.
fight. Yeah.
You gonna get that or what?
I actually tweeted them and asked them if I could get it.
Shut up.
I swear to God, here, I'll show you guys right now. Check it out, guys, right here.
Oh, my
Ready?
word, bro. No word.
And ready? How much do you want for that? I'm dead serious, bro. I wasn't kidding you. More excited to see the ground game. What do you think is going to happen playing out with now Tony and Nate? That's going to be so much fun to watch.
Wait, what? Tony Ferguson's fighting Nate Diaz?
Yeah,
that was a replacement
3 hours ago.
For Chimaev missing weight. Yep.
Bro, no way. That's the sickest fucking fight.
Right?
Fuck, that's a hard one. I got Tony Ferguson because, like, I don't know, bro. Like I feel like he doesn't have a soul. Like, bro, that dude is so scary. Like the before and after pictures of like his last 8 opponents is like gnarly bad. Like it's crazy what he does to people, and he's sick off the bottom. Like if he's on bottom, like he's elbowing and striking. He's like I don't know. Tony Ferguson's nasty.
Doesn't it blow your mind, dude?
That's so legendary. Like I just got done with the camera job. I've been working all day.
You missed the whole fiasco. That's why I was trying to tell you, because everyone missing weight, they shuffled everything around. Chimaev is fighting Kevin Holland.
Wait, so you were for real? Chimaev is fighting Kevin Holland now?
Yep.
So wait, so what are the weight classes?
Well, I think
170 Tony versus Nate, 180 KC versus Kevin Holland.
No catch weight for Holland and Chimaev, and I think the same way for Rodriguez and Lee.
Yep.
Bruh.
80.
So did Kevin Holland miss weight too?
I think I don't think he missed weight. I think he knew what was going on. They just said like stop cutting. You're good. That's all right.
All right, we got some more news to talk about here, Steve. Russians.
I said rough ones.
Oh, rough ones. Yeah, rough ones. One of my childhood favorites, Steve. Maybe you can kind of do an introductory for this for people who don't know who Jason David Frank was from the Power Rangers and what he's done for mixed martial arts.
He is for
true inspiration.
A lot of people, over the age or around the age of 35 years old, Jason David Frank was their first, superhero and introductory into.
Bro, he was Conor McGregor.
Was combat sports in reality, and
he was our
Jason
Bruce
David
Lee.
Frank was a part of the Power Rangers as the Green Ranger. Later on as the White Ranger, played the Red Ranger, the Black Ranger, Red Ranger twice actually. But I mean, he's
I love that
he's been idolized from people inside the combat sports community. People also tend to forget he was also managed by Sucker Punch Entertainment and over there. He had 3 amateur fights and a professional MMA fight. He wasn't just
wanted to fight CM Punk.
He wasn't just an on-screen dude. He was one of the few that was actually fighter. But he just happened to do things in other ways. He touched people in other ways. People don't know. Obviously, being involved in the Power Rangers, you be involved into the Comic-Con circuit. So he's one of these guys. He would stay hours past his signing times to make sure everyone had pictures, everyone had autographs, everything. Like you would hear stories from other actors talking about being back in the green room in the backs, having stogies on the on the back launching pad. Like he was just a different dude. And not only was that just a tough one to hear, like not the fact that you lose him, but just in the manner of how we lose Jason David Frank. Mental health and illness is definitely not one to laugh about. Obviously, he's dealt with a lot of things over the last few years. People don't know, like he was going through a divorce. Around this time last year, his daughter had committed suicide, and getting right back around into that time period again. Obviously it was getting rougher for Jason, and unfortunately he felt like he had nowhere else to go, and he needed to take his life going through a rough divorce. Losing a child within the past year, it's rough. Jason David Frank was definitely a rare one, and definitely going to be missed on so many different levels.
So what happened with the whole mayhem thing and the gas mask? Was it just because he had to get out on time? You had no time for that?
Well, okay. You pulled it out of me.
I had to.
But here's the deal. The thing is that initially he had a bag on his head.
Yeah.
A bag.
A garbage bag or something, right?
On his head. It was a brown paper bag on his head. One eye in there. And I'm like, you know what? It's all right, but you need to adjust it or take it off. And he said, I'm not doing either one.
Oh.
That was not right.
Yes.
So I said, you know what? Yes, you are. You're doing either what I ask or what's right. You got a choice. He said something, so I snatched the bag off his head, and he had the damn gas mask on. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? First of all, I want to know, how the hell did you get that bag over that mask? So at that point, you know what? It was new, and it was new to me. I didn't know exactly how they were going to react. So I said, they need to see your face now. So we had a tete-a-tete about that. And I think I let him go till he got to the curtain and the cameras went on, and I snatched that mask.
Yes, Bert, you're the man.
And he looked at me, but you know what? The cameras was on. So he went, but when it was over, he expressed it. He didn't like it. But you know what? The respect, because those are fighters. They have one way of settling things. And they don't care that you're 150 years old.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? If you step here, you're going to step out of here at the same time. But they know, and they all knew, that I had nothing but mad respect for them. I always said to them, you know what? I can F with you, but I'm never going to let anybody else F with you.
Yeah.
Ever. So keep that in mind. And you know what? I got nothing but mad love and mad respect. And from those who were trying to buck the system, when they got to me, they kind of slowed it down a little bit. And I just said, you know what? That shit ain't swinging this way, baby. You got to flip that script. You got to flip that script. And they did that. And then I'd walk away and say, man, I had John Jones once. We were doing something in the MGM. And he came, and I usually give a speech to all the fighters, before or after a weigh-in. I give them a speech for the night before, but I give them this kind of speech.
Yeah.
And I'm in the middle of my speech, and I can see him coming down the escalator late. He walks in the room and walks around the back of the room, and I stop. I said, no. Hold on a second. You come up here, son. And he looked at me like I was just, and everybody turned around and looked at it. I said, yes, you come up here, Mr. Come in here late, disrespecting me and everybody else in this room.
Mr. Come in here late.
Yes, sir. Disrespecting me and everybody in this room. I said, you know what, son? I said, your name ain't big as mine. That's the first and last time I said that to somebody. I said, so you can't do that. And never, ever can you disrespect anybody sitting in this room when you got to go through the bushes with them. I'm a Vietnam vet, man. I was in the Marine Corps, and I learned in the Marine Corps. Everybody had to crease their slacks, put their hood on the same way. And I said, that's what you got to do.
Why is the sky blue, Bert?
Because it's supposed to be.
All right, let me switch gears here real fast. So Bert,
But it's
Well, Bert,
a love.
it's actually an anniversary now that you bring up Anderson Silva. 16 years since he began his reign as the champion, since he started really rolling.
And guess who was there? Boom.
You, my man. You, my
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes,
So I
sir.
got a question. You brought
Yes.
up Joe Frazier. You left out a couple names though.
Okay.
You got to meet Obama?
Yeah, I got to meet Obama on accident.
On
an
accident?
On accident.
That
I'm in a
doesn't
show.
happen.
I'm in a show in Pittsburgh. So we're doing some things, and one guy was in the workout room, and he said to me, well, the treadmill's not working, and this is not working. And I said to him, they're working because I checked that before you got here. But he said, no, it's not. So I get up, and I said, you know what? You wait here. I'm going to go check that. So I went over to check, and there was some security guards standing out there. And luckily, the hotel manager was there. So I said, you know what? I need to go in there and check the treadmill because this guy's telling me something's up. He went over, he talked to the guys, security guys said, come on. They walked me in the room. Room's empty, 2 other guys in there, nowhere in my head. Because I've seen security and I'm used to security. So I wasn't like wondering why security was there.
Yeah.
But as I'm walking through, I hear one of the bicycles pedaling. I walk around the corner and who's on the bike but Mr. Obama.
No.
And I wanted to say, oh shit, but you can't say that to the President of the United States.
I got a question now. How is he doing on the bike? I mean, who
you know,
compare him to?
You know what? He was sitting back with the newspaper and he was reading. And I looked at him and I said, what's up? He said, I'm fine. How are you, sir? I said, I'm fine. I turned around and walked out. I walked out of the room and in my head, I said, I don't believe I just said, what's up to the President of the United States? I called my mom.
What's
I
up,
called
Obama,
my mom
baby?
and I said to my mom, I said, guess who I just met? She said, who? I said, Obama. She said, you get his picture? I said, no, Ma, I was not going to go to the president and ask for a picture. But that was, you know, I've met him and that was a chance meeting. He was I was surprised the security let me in there, Secret Service, but they let me in because I was with the hotel manager and he vouched for me. But to go in and to see him sitting there, boom, you know, same thing. I met Mandela like that. And
You're stealing all my questions here, Bert. I was about to ask you, is it a Mandela effect that you met Nelson Mandela?
Man, that was awesome. It was, he was at the United Nations.
He was at the YMCA in the swimming pool or something you were about to say.
No. What happened was when Nelson Mandela got out of prison, he said that the 2 things he wanted to do, well, a couple of the things was to meet Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali, because he was an avid boxing fan. So they called our office and said that Mandela was going to be at the United Nations, and they wanted Joe for a quick shout out. So we got in the car, we drove on up there. We got to the United Nations, they took us down in the basement. But I'm used to going into the basement underground with Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali. I walked in, turned around and walked in this room, and who's standing there but Mandela? I'm looking at him and I'm, you know, like he was glowing. You know? And luckily I said to Joe, I said, let's take this, the WC belt, the belt that he won March 8th, 1971 from Muhammad Ali.
What a memory you got, Bert. Wow.
Hey, I lived it. It was
Bert's an elephant, man. I'm telling you. Bert's an elephant. He don't forget nothing.
And here's Steve for the audio listeners. Steve, welcome.
My man. So we
Friday
took that
Night Lights, man. When you got kids playing football, sometimes things go a little bit over. It happens.
Man, trust me.
Steve, he's
Oh, they
telling
were
us.
killing it, man. They beat them boys 40-20, man. It was a whooping.
Oh, wow.
They were
So-
just running them ball down them poor kids' throats. I felt bad.
He's telling
Hey.
us how he met Nelson Mandela and Obama right now.
Hey, man.
That, you know what? That
Bert's
was.
got some legends in his pocket, man.
But you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Out of all of that, the biggest surprise for me, and my wife is sitting here, so I can say that, I met Sade.
Oh.
I was, and I got a private one-on-one in our dressing room because I was going to put John Jones and those guys in that dressing room.
That was one of my mom's favorites right there too. Sade. That was one of my mom. Dude, that used to be in the car for my entire childhood.
You're like my son and daughter. All they listened to was James Brown and the Isley Brothers and Barry White. That's all they heard.
That's because you ingrained it into them, Bert.
Now, Bert, I heard you're a wedding crasher as well.
Okay, damn. Who was that?
For Joe Lozon. I heard you crashed Joe Lozon's wedding.
Well, I kind of crashed, but I also got invited. But you know what? They asked me to dance. And well, I did. You know, but it was memorable, man. It was Joe Lozon was definitely, and he was one of, you know what I called them? All of those guys are my kids. Joe Lozon. I see Max Holloway, George St. Pierre. I had them when they started. Matt Serra, Frankie Edgar. You know, when they were kids, when their eyes were big and bugged because they were there in the UFC. And honestly, when I started with the UFC, I had no idea. I knew what Bruce Lee and Bruce Leroy. That's as much as I knew. I knew nothing else about MMA because I came from boxing. But when I got my first, I did my first MMA in 1999, I think. My first UFC was UFC 30.
Wow.
And that was either 2000, 2001.
Wow.
But what I was amazed was that I used to see in boxing, you got in the ring and you kicked somebody's ASS, and then you kicked him and then you talked about his mama and his family, and there was no real love. When they were serious. But when I got to MMA, I saw how guys did that and they bowed and respected each other, and it was I wasn't used to that. But to see it, man, it was definitely awesome for me to see it. And now looking back on it, 22 years ago, my goodness. To be able to say 22 years ago, to see now where it's come. And now I'm with Bellator.
Yep.
And to see the progression of the athletes, I saw them when they were fighting like this, when they were, you know, and I saw this go to this, where they were smooth and throwing where the technical skill level progressed with the sport. And that was awesome to see. Guys,
you know, like when I see Conor McGregor in a thong, that's not appealing to me. But you know, I want to do that. What's the best way to do that? Because I even tried checking yours out. I tried checking a couple people's out, and you cannot look at them unless you pay money. What would be like a good starting?
Of course, you think people are stupid?
My best favorite thing is when guys are like, "So what's on yours?" I was like, "Well, you gotta have to kind of
Exactly. Exactly. So, like, what should I start for? Like, at a price? Like, how do I go about this?
Honestly, the best thing that you would do is subscribe. You would create your page, and the best thing would just be doing it for free for a little bit until you get more fans. When you create a fan base, then you go to $4.99, or you would go to, you know, I wouldn't go more than $4.99 at first.
A month?
A lot of people are at $4.99, and then you get more money per the pay-per-views and stuff like that. So in the messages is where you make more money.
And how often a week would I have to do it?
Oh, I am on my daily.
You posting content daily, brother.
Yeah.
Daily.
I mean, Steve knows. I mean, I was late for the last show because of some stuff that was going on.
Okay, so my lifestyle, it was easy for me to make it too because I know a lot of people that have OnlyFans, and we were already hanging out.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
We were already hanging out, and we were already doing it. So I'm like, shit, why aren't we getting paid for this?
You weren't hanging out. You were just laying around.
Yeah, laying around.
Like well, see, if you think about it, everything's completely changed as far as the athlete and this stuff goes. I guess the proverbial fourth wall has already been smashed, because if you look at it like the way it's set up now, like if you look at BKFC, OnlyFans is one of the in-ring sponsors.
Yeah.
You look at other promotions that where they have some type of thing going on with that. So we're at the point now, like it's up to you on how you wanna run your OnlyFans. Do you want it to have it just be the athlete content? Do you want to have the athlete content and then your paywall with your spicy content, however you want to word that, whatever. But I think when you look at it, whether it's OnlyFans, whether it's Patreon, whether it's Fansly, whatever everyone's poison to get that extra content they want from their special content creators. It's all another avenue for everyone. And I think it's something that just, as I guess the world is more accepting of it, society's more accepting of it, and both the way it's being involved in I guess our content sports.
For the most part, I wish it was actually more accepting, because there's a lot.
Oh, no, I know exactly what you're talking about there too, Jessica. Because like I have mutual friends who'd be like, "Oh, well, you're an on-air personality. What are you doing retweeting or posting?" I'm like, well, just because that's what their content is doesn't mean I should shun them for what they're doing. They support my content blindly. Regardless if I'm talking football, if I'm talking basketball, if I'm talking hockey, or if I'm talking combat sports. It shouldn't matter what my content is compared to what their content is. It shouldn't. If you're my friend and you support me, I should blindly support you in the same way.
It's not hurting anyone. Let them do what makes them happy. Whatever they choose to do, that's their choice. Let it go.
Well, and I know what you're talking about too. I had a athlete. I'm not going to name names or throw anyone.
Was it Mayhem?
No. That's everything with Mayhem. You stop it. This athlete is a female and was like, I'm unfollowing and blocking people who repost X type of content. The funny part is this person had just won a big fight, and their biggest fan was this person who runs an OnlyFans account. I'm like, wait, so your biggest fan, and you're sitting there posting this person all over your socials, has a openly, like, that you have an account, but the fans, that people that supported you, they can't repost. Like, which side are you on?
Yep.
It's just one of these things where it's like, to each their own. Like, if you don't like that, fine. Remove me, block me, do whatever. If that's what keeps you peace at day, more power to you. But to other people, like, it's one of these things where I think that it's gonna come a time where it officially become something that is just an acceptable part.
Are you worried about that having an effect? Like, people wouldn't want to sign. I remember years ago, Steve, you and Carrie, you probably remember this. A ring girl was fired for having photos. Just simple photos.
That's crazy. No, I am not worried at all. If people don't like me, I could care two shits. Honestly.
She could give two fucks less.
Yeah.
I am me, and
you're winning. Like your thing says.
Yeah. I'm happy with me. I'm completely content with me. I could care less about how many fans I got. Like, I don't care. I do it because I love doing it. And the people that love me and are real fans, they'll follow. Like, I'm not worried about it.
So what's the difference between OnlyFans and Chatterbait? Because I was gonna do Chatterbait as well, which is live.
Yeah, so I have, but I know about it. So I'm not familiar with how it works, besides the fact that it's live. So you know, people will pay.
They send like if you're a girl, they send you a little vibrator, and every time you get a donation, it goes off.
Yeah.
And like that excites people. I don't want to put one in me though, you know. I'll probably get one like, look, put peanut butter on your balls and let your rats lick.
That's Eddie. That's how Eddie's gonna land as the Manscaped sponsor. He's gonna shave his what's on Chatterbait.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But
It's
listen,
sex and violence. It's the two biggest growing things in the world, and people's got to realize that and not get mad
Well,
about it.
also people also tend to forget we're we're talking about a sport that is dominated by the what viewer? The male viewer. Okay, so here's the thing: if it's dominated by the male viewer, and you have female fighters on there, what's the two things that you're gonna want with them? They got to be violent.
Yes.
Obviously, Eddie throwing it down for us, showing us a little preview of what Jessica does on her free time. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, I think they do have a type. I don't think anyone should basically sit there and say that it's necessarily a bad thing for them to do, as long as the athlete themselves actually can fight. What does it matter? It's more eyes on them. It's more eyes on the sport. It's more eyes on the promotion. It's like what was the girl over in Thailand when she won her fight? She flashes half the crowd. Her freaking her page blows up.
It was smart on her part. I mean, because it was literally the news, all the news for like weeks. Like, it was smart. It's bad publicity.
No. Let's say the smartest part that she did about that was smart enough to know where the cameras was that got to her back.
Yeah.
I think that's the smartest thing she did there.
That is true. If she did it on purpose, props to her. But it still makes them want more, so they go to subscribe to her OnlyFans. Smart girl.
But that's also a thing. And the funny part is that you go and look at her. She's sponsored by a former porn star.
Yep.
It's like you can't ask for. I mean, when you look at what's involved in the sport, like, listen, sex will always be involved in combat sports in some way, shape, or form, regardless of where you've grown and things of that nature as a sport, and things of that nature. Combat sports, you're always going to have, girls will always be a part of it in that part of selling the sport. So what does it matter anymore?
Exactly.
We already know what it is. We're coming to this is the acceptance of what it is. If that's not what you want, great. You know where you can go find it. That's why that's another reason why I think it's great that a lot of you fighters have it, because then you can direct the idiots out of your inbox to go get this. This is where you want to go find and talk to that. Fine. There's where you go. Have a nice day. If I see you on there, we'll have a conversation.
Yeah, that's one thing I do not mind telling people when they reach out to me, because I take care of all my social media by myself. And I know a lot of people have other people or companies and stuff do that for them. I do it all myself, and I have no problem telling people when they're retarded.
Have you had an issue at all dealing with other companies? Because I did see in the past, like, some people have issues like with paying or you not understanding the contracts the right way. Have you had those kind of issues, and what are you doing now to prevent something like that ever happening again?
Unfortunately, there's some on OnlyFans, people can like request a refund after getting the all the stuff that they paid for, so the videos and stuff like that.
So if I let my rats lick me, yeah, that wouldn't be good.
There are rules though. Like, OnlyFans is pretty strict on
no rats.
Fluids. So
oh, really?
No blood, no feces, nothing crazy like that. They do not allow that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do things. I saw that your kids are in the Kids World Records.
Yeah, so they actually got in the book. I actually bought the book too. I didn't actually know all of them because I only got an email about one of them. And so I bought it, and I realized that all three of them were in it for... Yes, thank you. My husband just brought it to me. So
that, for what? What did they get awarded for? That's so amazing. It really is.
She climbed up the 8.5-foot pole, the fastest.
Oh, I do that. I do that when Steve's blowing my phone up.
Yeah. So, and jumping jacks, and the other one, I believe. Let me see if I can find it. I don't want to take up too much time looking for them. I know you guys got.
Have you ever what's something that I remember when I was a kid, they had guts and they had like shows where these kids would perform like their crazy stunts and stuff like that. And I always wanted to do something cool.
They do have some crazy stuff. I mean, this book is like full of like kids that just come up with some crazy stuff. And I mean, hey, if you're coming up with the first thing, you can. So, but they got the longest piggyback ride, like most jumping jacks in 1 minute. So it was pretty cool. Like it was just a thing that we were doing, that we were bored, and
you didn't even know they were all in there. Wow.
No, they only let me know about one, and then I ended up looking through it just to see, and they were all 3 in it.
It's one of the things that I said. The one thing I love with the direction that combat sports is going right now, it's no longer this thing where you can only fight in this place or that place.
Yeah.
The only way you could be successful now. I think it's grown so much in so many different ways that it doesn't matter if you're in BKFC, if you're in BYB Extreme, or whatever, you're still one of some of the biggest promotions. That's
what BJ Penn was trying to do years ago.
And I also think that what we're seeing over the last year and a half with what's been going on with the UFC is that a lot of the fighters are just getting out of their contracts and doing whatever they can do so they can compete in multiple different things. Where what we've seen what happened with Nate. I know Bert doesn't think that they're done yet as far as Dana and Diaz goes. I wholeheartedly think they're done, regardless if the stuff we've seen, like this will always be your house kid and all that stuff that Dana said to him. That's all fine and dandy. I think they're absolutely done. I wouldn't be surprised if he winds up in somewhere like a Bellator for a fight or two, but I think it's more you're going to see a lot more fighters get involved in start promoting their own fighters, their own guys, the guys in their backyard, etc. But I think it's going to be one of the things where the scales are starting to finally even out a little bit. And even if some people will always kind of feel that anything that's not that 3-letter word will be inferior. I wholeheartedly will always disagree with that, just because no matter what the UFC does, they will never, ever, ever, ever be able to get 100% of the best fighters in the world on their roster. It will never happen. We will always have this conversation. And will always be an argument.
Yep, I agree.
It's one thing you got to love about the sport, because it's always changing. What you love about combat sports is that every time you think you have it figured out, the combat sports world just flip you.
Curveball.
Exactly. Turn it all upside down on you.
I really did not enjoy my time. Like, it sucks.
I think that's one of the good things. Like when you get older as a fighter, like that, those anxieties, those things kind of simmer away, and it's just about working your game plan.
Absolutely. And now it's like you said, it's almost like a mental checklist. I just go over and it's like I know exactly what to do. I'm just going to dominate this fight at whatever range, whether it be on the outside or on the inside. I'm just going to dominate the fight. I know exactly how to do this. I've been fighting for 16 years, so.
But Joey, it seems like one of the biggest battles, it seems to be the trolling, right? It seems to be some of the trolling, and I got something set up for you here. I got something set up. All right. Now, Joey, some trolls are saying that you and fear, when you're scared, you actually scream like a little girl. And they shared this photo with me of what is this, Joey? I mean, come on, what is going on here?
Oh, that's having a girl. We're having a lot of fun, man.
That's funny.
Oh, what? Him and wifey were kicking it on their vacation, and man, why the trolls got to mess with Joey, yo?
I know. That's awesome. That's hilarious.
I mean,
no, man, you want to know something funny? Is like
you had to pay for these photos. That's the funny part. You had to pay for these photos.
I used to be deathly afraid of roller coasters.
Ooh.
What was this
Like,
Like
one?
roller coasters at all.
Who
That
broke
was
it then?
that was
If
that.
you used to be, who
that's
made
that
you not
Carowinds
afraid?
Carowinds in North Carolina.
Okay, the Loch Ness, I think it's called. Correct?
Hold up, my bad.
Wait, did you say Bush Kills?
Busch Gardens was the
Busch
other one.
Gardens. Yes, I went there, and it is the Loch Ness.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
Carrie's
Loch
been
Ness.
on it too.
I went on the Big Bear Wolf and all of that shit.
Oh, those
But
are
Joey-
good, man.
Yeah,
Joey,
but I
I
don't
love-
like roller coasters either at all.
Joey, I love the shirt you're wearing, and I love the face that you made here.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened when you guys got off that roller coaster and you see the screens and you're looking for your face, and then you see yourself and you're like, "Oh God, man, I gotta buy this one."
Hey, I'm that guy that I didn't buy it. I just pulled out my phone and snapped a photo of the screen. Well, the
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
screen, work at the front desk and says, "Sir, you can't take pictures."
Like I can do what I want.
Yeah, step
yeah,
to
whatever.
me. Yeah, step to me, bro. I go
Yeah.
bare knuck.
Do what I want. Thank you.
But the fact that your face here, if I was a troll, I would say, Joey, did you shit your pants on this ride? Look at your face right there. I
Look
mean,
at-
looks so
but look at-
serious.
look at that.
ride.
Look at that face. That face was I was happy. I was in it.
Yeah, he's having it. The other one, I think that one scared him a little bit.
No. I'll tell you why. The other one, I had a goal that was not gonna scream on any roller coaster when I went to Busch Gardens.
You know what's funny? Because you look like you have this super serious look, like you're concentrating on something, and I couldn't figure out what it was because you're like, "This is not going to take me. I'm going to take this ride." Like,
And after every roller coaster, I get off and look at and slap fives with the family. I'd be like, "No screaming, no emotions, no screaming, no emotions."
Oh my goodness.
Beltron's never
Joey,
screamed.
I heard a rumor that you were screaming as loud as 16,000 fans on that ride.
On the other one, the one in North Carolina, we were for sure. I was whipping it up.
Scary ride.
I try my best to not make a monster out of my opponents. I focus on making a monster out of my, and that goes across the board as far as like, yeah, what he's done in the game, how long he's been in the game. Well, fuck, game. I've been in the game just as long. So at the end of the day, like, it's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be like I said, just two grown ass men getting in a fist fight. It's gonna be fantastic.
Now, have you guys seen each other before? Like going into this fight, I know you guys are probably so pissed at me right now, Houston and Joey. You guys can beat me up for that.
My face was just like,
Yeah,
Why?
you guys,
Strangers, they've seen each other. They've been on the circuit before.
you guys can beat me up for this. Joey, it's Joey's last question.
Hold up. What did I walk in on?
You walked in on.
I don't know. What the
all
hell.
those debauchery already happened,
Hold
man.
up. Don't put my name in anything, and I don't know what the hell is going on, man.
Houston,
Okay?
it's Evil-y. It's Evil Eddie over here.
I know who it is, but hold on. You mentioned my name and say don't beat you up. Beat you up. Well, that's assault, brother.
So, all right.
Get him. Get him.
I kind of put myself in the corner here. This should
Yes,
not
you
have
did.
happened. I did.
Now,
But
hold
this is,
on. Now I'm gonna stop you. Is your statement gonna get your ass whooped?
no, it won't.
No,
my
not at
question,
all.
my question to Joby was, and Steve's question and Carrie's question. You
Yeah.
two are both legends, and I want to throw this to Joey before he leaves here, and we get to you, Houston.
What's
are
up, Joe?
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
No, I love this.
Why are you apologizing, brother?
I think this
'Cause
is
you
the
guys-
coolest moment I've
We're
seen in
professionals. We're
interviewing in a
pros,
long
man.
time.
Listen,
do this for a long time.
they've been on the interview stand. We were at big press conference next to their opponents today. Ain't nothing different, guys. Come on.
My
No, I
question-
love this.
Our
You
question
gotta
was
get it out, Eddie.
two legends stepping in there. What do you think would be the outcome if you two met beforehand and talked like this? Does this change anything? Like, you guys are being nice now. What's the difference? Because you guys are both legends. You've met your opponents in the past, but what changes
Joe,
Before
hey,
you step
Joe,
in the
you want
queue.
to ask you want to answer that first? I know you have to go.
No.
Okay.
All right, so for me, it changes absolutely nothing. You know, at the end of the day, like Houston and I have been doing this so long that we both have that mental switch, and we both come from you know, from a generation where you don't have to, you don't talk shit on the internet. You don't have to. Why? Because we're gonna signed up. We're gonna fist fight. You have to fucking talk shit about each other's mamas or anything dumb shit. You know? Like, hey, guess what? November 18th. We're gonna punch each other in the face. You know, it's all gonna be.
Yeah, we're gonna punch each other in the face and then probably have a beer afterwards.
I love it.
Exactly.
You know
Now-
that, but don't get it twisted because you know we're gonna go out there and actually fight. But you know what? There's nothing personal between it. You know, not like how Khabib was with Conor. There's nothing like that.
No one's gonna jump out.
You know, it's like you're both going in there to perform and to perform your best. It's gonna be an amazing fight. So you know, I get.
Also, I think it's something that comes like with also like what I was talking about, like when you get to a certain point in your career and your profession, and you get to a certain age, like some of that extra outside noise, it just falls right off. It's like, all right, whatever, he's saying whatever. I'll see you come Saturday.
I don't think it's just that. I think, you know, shit, we're grown men. But you know, but see, and on top of that, we're not pussies.
Have you guys been in?
Let's just be real about it. We know we're grown men. We know how to and again, I don't know about should have said that, but I'm just being straight to the point. You know,
you're allowed to say whatever you want.
We know what it is. We know what it is, and you know, this is what we chose to do, and this is our profession. So you know, there's nothing personal. There's nothing personal. Unless he kicked my son in the face or did something crazy to my mom or.
What was the one the one BKFC fighter said he's gonna do something to the guy's dog. I was like, oh man, here we go.
That was the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, what a weird comment to make. Like, bro, somebody make sure his dog's okay.
That's funny.
I gotta add this in really quick, just while you guys are
let
here.
Joey go. Yeah.
Houston, you've been in there against legends. You know, a lot of people remember you from Kimbo Slice. Joey, a lot of people remember you from Stipe, Pat Barry, Rampage. Have you guys ever been in a situation with an opponent where it was heated beforehand?
I don't remember anything like that. To where someone was barking at me all crazy. I don't think so. I don't know about Joey, but yeah, you
told me, Houston, a couple of years ago on my podcast that Kimbo was actually a really nice guy, a stand-up guy when you met him.
Like
his
the
whole
sweetest
team
guy ever. Who's probably one of the meanest looking ones too.
Mm-hmm. And you know, and yeah, a lot of these guys who have confidence in themselves and their ability, and they surround themselves with good people. Guess what? You don't have to do all that barking and stuff. You know, and I think there's nothing wrong with it because it helps you promotionally. You know, just like a Floyd Mayweather or a Conor McGregor. But a lot of times, you know, you don't have to do all that. Or you do like Bud Crawford. And I believe, I'm going to quote him. He said he let his hands do the talking. Yeah. But sometime in this day and age with social media, you know, they can either hurt you or help you because you focus on your ability, but at the same time you got to be able to bark and got to be able to talk and do all that stuff. You know, me and Joe, we're gonna go out there and just perform. We all that old, trying to get up, going against each other, all that crap. You know, that's for amateurs.
Joey, your thoughts?
Exactly, man. I mean, put it perfectly. Like, yeah, I really don't think. I think it might be a generational thing. I always say, I had pages of friends back when I had a real phone book. I don't even fucking need MySpace. So this whole social media thing is like, whatever. I do it. But
what reality is, it does, man.
Well,
I don't think it's generational. I think it's again, it's this day and age where everyone's trying to get likes and everyone's trying to get the attention off the internet. And I think that's the only way a lot of people can get can get that attention by using the internet and social media and getting that that reassurance from the audience. Maybe that's the case. I don't think it's generational. I think nothing. The generations haven't changed. It's just the technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's almost made where people can't even conversate. Like, you know, I'm 43. I'm single. I go out all the time. Guys cannot talk to women whatsoever. It's like if there is not a swipe, whatever feature, they can't have an actual conversation with you. And it's really sad. I think that the dating apps and the digital era, like you said, has done that. And there are people that literally live their life off of like their value is their likes and follows. And that's sad too.
Now, whose fault is that? Is that the parents' fault or is it the kids' fault?
Well, the parents' fault for sure. I would definitely go with that, letting them first off too young using social media. But as adults, the ones that fell into it, that's where I get really sad for them because I'm like, your life shouldn't be your social media. I have like no following and I love every single one of them. And that's because I've gotten banned and kicked off. But I love all my followers, all 200 of them. They're the best people ever. And I'm totally okay with it. Losing as much as I did actually humbled the fuck out of me because I'm like, you know what? People still know away. I don't care. I don't need the numbers.
Those numbers at the end of the day, they're fake people for the most part. Most of them don't even actually engage with what you. They just hit a like or share just to kind of get.
They don't even like to hit a like. People would rather just look at your shit and keep it moving and not even like it or give you a credit or anything. So people are funny like that. But keep in mind, guys, your trolls are your biggest fans.
Yeah.
Your haters are legitimately just looking at your stuff all day long, hoping you're gonna like slip up a little bit or fuck up and say something stupid.
Well, I always seem to congratulate people who approach me negatively. So hey, thank you. I appreciate you calling me a dickhead.
Like, thank you for
Love it.
That's my dude. It does look like I have a dickhead.
Houston. Now, Joey, before we let you go, Joey, I gotta say I'm sweating through my sweatshirt. I am nervous that you guys are gonna fight right here. I cannot wait.
Wait, why are they gonna do that? They still got 2 more weeks before they get to the fight.
I know. BKFC 33 guys live on Fight. Joey Beltran, Houston Alexander, Omaha, Nebraska, going down in just a couple of weeks.
Let me say on record, I had to say this on record, Joe. I always thought you had one of the best nicknames in MMA. Dude, hey, first of all, it's weird because one of my favorite movies is The Terminator. One of my favorite movies of all time is The Terminator. And it's crazy because I think this is the first time we've talked since some years ago, but Terminator, and then hold on for a second. This guy is calling himself the Mexinator. Man, come on, man. Where did you get that nickname from? Did you get it from the movie?
No, man.
Somebody gave it to you. Somebody gave it to you, huh?
Yeah, my buddy, he had a funny name, Eddie Sanchez. He was a UFC veteran back in the day, fought Crow Cup and shit. He looked at me when we were coming up with ideas, tossing across a couple of ideas. It was my second or third fight. He's like, you know what? You're the Mexicutioner. I was like, I like it, and that's fucking swear to God. That's how
it's not Mexinator. It's Mexicutioner.
Yeah, Mexicutioner.
Okay. I understand that. Now I'm messed up. See, that's when I'll be hit 2 times in the head. Mexicutioner.
Because Houston has a Terminator tattoo. We'll get to that in just a second, Joey. I want to thank you so much for tolerating my BS and doing this. I know you guys are probably so pissed at me. I'm gonna hide for a month or two.
You've been fighting forever is one part of it, and 2, you're literally just concentrating on one part, and once the hands are going to be thrown at you. You're not going to have elbows. You're not going to be taken down.
Well, Carrie's been sweeping everybody at Matt Sarah's gym lately, so she's a little confident. She
the leg sweep or just the takedown.
She choked out Matt Sarah's wife today.
I told you that. It was off camera. I didn't want to say that on
Yeah,
camera.
good. Hey, good. No, good. Hey, good for you. Good for
Yeah.
you.
And actually,
Good for you.
Caitlin Chukagian had commented how strong I am, and I'm very tiny. I'm just very wiry. And Matt was like, dude, you should be choking people out with rear nakeds. I'm like, I do that. And my favorite is triangles. Top mounted, back, anywhere.
And speed kills.
Yep. Oh, I have to be fast because I'm so
See?
tiny, and most of my opponents are bigger than me, and the girls that I train with are. So
And
I
that-
have
well,
to
that you can get around them.
Be super fast.
You
I'm
can get
never
around them a little faster
Yeah.
than someone that's probably bigger.
Oh yeah, by the time I slip my knee behind their back and have them in a rear naked choke, the one girl today was like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "I'm sorry." I just practiced that 2 days ago. It's with black belts, so that's why I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Hey, now you better watch out. You keep doing that, people are gonna start getting jealous, and they're gonna start taking cheap shots at you. You better watch out.
Yeah,
Well,
I've had that happen.
Houston, have you been the victim
see
of
it.
that, where new people come into the gym and they kind of spot you and they're like, oh man, I know we at the YMCA, but let's go, Houston.
No. Because there's one thing from day one I've gotten from Curly Alexander, which is my uncle, who's one of my coaches. When I don't care where you're at, when you step into the gym, you got to let everybody know who the alpha is. So, regardless of whether I'm in Miami, Florida, Miami, Houston, California, Canada, you have to, I don't care who gym it is, you got to let everyone know who the alpha is.
So are you Mufasa or are you Scar in the MMA world? Are you Scar or Mufasa?
Man, that's a tough one. That's a good question. You
know
what?
Do you have the heart?
Oh man, I gotta be. I gotta be Scar.
I love that.
All right.
Yes.
I'm Scar. You know why? Do you know why? Because again, Scar he didn't give a shit.
No, he didn't.
Also, you have the Joker tattoo, which kind of goes with this whole Scar theme.
I love it.
Why did you get the Joker tattoo? I feel like that.
Because every once in a while I think I'm funny, but I know I can turn it on just like Joey said. We can turn it on at the top of a hat. So that's
why so
with
serious.
the Joker. A Joker thought he was funny, but at the same time he was very dangerous. So that's what I feel I am.
So do you feel like money is nothing? It really comes down to the whole point that you're trying to make in your career. You're not going after who's going to pay you the most. You're trying to make yourself into even more of a legend, which I've seen you do, Houston. I mean, I've seen you on shows where they're injecting you with adrenaline and stuff like that. I've seen you on Key and Peele. Those are two different opposites. You have been going in there and you've been making a name for yourself. It doesn't seem like you care about politics or money. It seems like you care about making a point and being a real leader. Now that's something that Scar didn't do.
Now, see, I don't mean to cut you off, but
Nope.
I'll take that L. I don't want to, the legend thing. Everyone throws that around all the time. I don't, being a legend is, Kobe is a legend.
You're a legend.
You are a legend in this sport.
Houston.
I'm just doing
his sport.
You're Houston Alexander. Houston.
I'm personally just enjoying what I'm doing, and and from day one, I've enjoyed what I've been doing. And ever since I was a kid on the playground of East St. Louis, when these kids try to take my candy bar from the first fight I had at 8 years old. I'm still looking for those guys. Okay. I'm still looking for those guys.
You're looking for it. He's still looking for the guy that took his.
I'm still looking for those guys, and I remember the school, Canada School in East St. Louis, Illinois. These guys tried to take my candy bar on the playground, and I ended up whooping their asses.
Going to Canada.
now, Houston, Carrie, Steve, we got to dive into this because
leader. Hold on.
That
leader,
picture I just showed, we need
leader.
Now, Houston, if I'm a troll, I'm going to say Houston's going around beating guys a quarter of his age because there's a photo of you in a high school about to pile drive this kid. Now, if I'm a troll saying that, I mean, can you explain this photo, bro?
Explain this photo. I went to go talk to my old high school, Omaha North High, and the head coach of the team asked me to come and talk to his team right before the playoff run. I did this a couple of years ago when I went to Nebraska. I always pick out the biggest guy, in the room. And
well, why not? There was a guy sitting right here in the green jacket that looked like he was about 33. I mean, a lot of these kids look a lot older than what I remember in high school.
Hey man, this kid was 6'9" and close to almost 300 pounds. And I said, and what I did was I had to, I had proof to them. I had to prove to the kids that size, size doesn't matter. It's it's the heart. It's the knowledge that you have. And again, more so the heart. And so for 5 minutes, I took this kid and I walked for each side of the room with this guy on my shoulder,
teaching a lesson.
Just having a conversation with this kid on my shoulder, just telling them, hey, size doesn't matter. And this guy's laughing because I told him I was gonna fart. There you go. So
you have like lethal.
If you were trolling me, then I'll be farting on you.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. This poor kid. I mean, look at him. He actually does look about 7 feet tall. Actually, now that I look at him,
he's not here. He was 6'9". He's a big kid.
Look at how big his pants are.
You took his lunch money or what?
No, sir, I did not. Hey, he was a big kid. If you go back and look at those photographs and you see us standing next to each other, his balls were on my shoulders.
Look at how long his pant leg is, and look at how wide that you can see. He's a big,
That's funny, but they end up going almost to the semifinals after that talk, and they won a couple of games after that, but they end up losing by a touchdown to get to the state final. So my old school, shouts out to the Omaha Vikings.
Now, Houston, I got another kind of segment here. What are you worth? Because I researched you and I wanted to know your net worth. Here's what I found, Houston. Okay. You are worth $400,000.
$400,000.
Net worth. Celebrity net worth. Can you confirm or can you say like where they got
Hold on for a second. Don't you see what's happening to the rappers out there? How they're getting targeted? Man, I'll never answer that.
What are you doing?
Shout out.
I'll never answer that.
You're a smart guy.
I'll never answer that.
Let me tell you, the things that I've been seeing, you're a smart man. It comes with
richest athletes in MMA. You're right there.
And what's funny is this is that I drive a 2013 Trailblazer, which is probably one of the best things I ever had. But I do have a few cars, but now I drive a 2013 Trailblazer.
That's good.
People understand sometimes you have vehicles for what you need. It's not always about being flashy. Like I got the truck because I need to move things around. I need to have this. I need to have my family with me. Things like that.
No, actually, I use my Trailblazer and again, I love this thing. I love my truck.
I'm a Chevy dude too. I use it to DJ with. I know what you mean. I love them things.
I use my Trailblazer to DJ with.
I'm gonna be the craziest person in the room and just say, like, when all hell breaks loose and the computers and the cars stop working, and they decide to just turn them off, your car will be running. Congratulations. We're all gonna be sitting there like a bunch of fools, and you'll be driving around like, "How's your computer run car, guys?"
And plus, no one's gonna steal a 2013 Trailblazer.
You're awesome. That's so smart.
No one's gonna steal. No one's gonna steal. Hey, no one's gonna steal
right here. All right, so you're a DJ. So what are your top 3 songs that you like to play DJing?
My top 3 songs that like that when I'm DJing anywhere at all. Oh man, Michael Jackson is always no matter what era, no matter what crowd, no matter what crowd.
Like what is the Michael you prefer?
Which one do I prefer?
Yeah, like what are you? Are you a pretty young thing guy? Are you a bad guy? Like you?
Steve knows pretty young thing.
It got to be a rock with you. You know, come on, you got to go early Michael before he started really messing up his nose.
Oh man, like
so you can play Michael Jackson.
You're not gonna play Thriller around October.
You can play anything.
Things like that makes you Thriller bad.
You can play anything Michael Jackson in any era, in any age group, at any time, and you'll never fail with Michael Jackson.
You know what my favorite is, Houston? ABC, right? The ABC song.
Old school.
That was again before the nose job.
Yeah, when he's a little boy. That's what I favorite. And you know what my favorite movie is? I got the rat on my shoulder for people listening to the audio. Willard. He actually made the whole soundtrack for Willard. I cry to the song every time one of my rats die. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. I play the Willard song every time one of my rats dies, and I have a cemetery.
Hold on. Now, are you sure? What's the name of that movie again?
Willard. Michael Jackson. Yeah.
Are you talking about Ben?
Ben! Houston! Oh, the DJ. Ben, the movie. Yeah.
Hey, guys, hold on for a second.
He just pulled his thing.
He's getting the movie.
Now,
bro.
Hey, you just said your favorite song was about a rat and named Willard. I'm going to have to issue a flag on the play.
Yeah, so you put up your feet. So I was going to tell the little story about that. So there's this Instagram called like UFC.feet or something ridiculous. And it had taken like pictures of me, Tisha, Mallory Martin, like other teammates of mine. And we're all standing in pictures, and they had taken our feet, cropped them out of pictures, and were selling them to people on Instagram, like publicly. And I was like, excuse me? Like, not only are you selling my pictures, but you're making money off of my feet. And so I was like,
my permission.
Yeah, I was like, screw it. I'm gonna do it.
I can't even bet on fights when you guys are making money off my feet.
Right.
Well, not only that, I saw that you went out on a little hike with your boyfriend and pushed them down a hill, kind of seems.
No, more like he scooted down it. It was a lot steeper than it looks on the video. We did go on a hike, and it was like cliffs, and I'm used to running down bluffs and stuff from being back home on the farm. He's not so much, and we're both scared of heights, so it was funny.
But it's got to be mixed emotions, right? If you're in the corner, right? Or even if you're in a fight, like you have been against Macy Barber, where you think you're winning a fight. I mean, I don't know if you thought you were or not, but a lot of us thought you won that fight. And, you know, you probably feel really good going in to get your hand raised. But then, like we saw this weekend with the judges, with Suga, a lot of people didn't agree with the judging. So what is it like when you experience something like that? It's got to be very mixed. You think you did very well, but yet you lost. So where does that lead?
It makes it harder than the real losses. I know that sounds odd, but it's almost more of a letdown. It's like you did put in your best, you tried your best, you had all this, you were about to be on your highest high, you know, cheering for yourself, and then you're up here, and then all of a sudden it's, and you're like, oh my goodness, like what just happened?
And it punches you right in the gut.
Yep, exactly. It feels like you're gonna have, you know, talk about even from a money perspective, you're thinking of all these plans in your head as all those moments run through, and okay, I'm gonna get this much money, I'm gonna put it towards this, and then last second it all just kind of gets ripped away. And you know, everybody says don't let it go to the judges. I get so angry when I hear those comments, because we're the best in the world. We're fighting at the highest level. Like, we can't always take it and finish these girls. We're all at a fairly equal level. That's why we're in the UFC. Like, that's why we're meant to put on shows. If we were just go in there and finish them in a minute, what would be the point of the matchmaking? Those obviously aren't great fights to begin with if it's that easy of a fight. So the whole don't take it to the judges, we try. Believe me, we're trying to not take it to the judges. It's not like we're sitting there going, you know, let's let this last another 15 minutes. I really think I want the judges to see this one out. Like, It's the silliest thing to me.
Now, Steve, I don't mean to cut you off, but going back on my question, now you've been in also situations where you've won fights, but now you have to go back towards a rematch. And I'm sure there's rematches you want, like against Macy Barber, but you have this upcoming fight, which is a rematch that you've also won in the past. Where's your head at here, opposed to, you know, looking at other people that have had rematches that usually win and overlook their opponent? Sometimes, you know, it could be kind of crazy, but you're a sociology psychology major. Where's your head at? And are you aware of what goes into a rematch, like in your head?
Yeah, absolutely. I try to look at it from her perspective and my own perspective, right? And kind of remove myself from the situation. And in her head, she obviously thinks it was a fluke. She thinks that she's improved more than me over time, that my striking wasn't that good, which it wasn't. I'll be honest about that. Way back when we fought, you know, it's been 3 years now since we fought. I have went to Virginia, learned Muay Thai way more than I ever knew before. Now I'm here in Colorado doing the highest level training I could ever do. I'm a totally different fighter than I was, and I think my fights in the UFC have shown that. And if she thinks I'm going to be the same person that came into that cage with her in 2019, she's sorely mistaken. But I'm not walking into this fight with the whole, I already beat her, not a big deal. I'm walking into it with, I've improved this much. I'm very confident in myself, but I also take every fight just as seriously as the last and the next. Like, I figure every fight's a title shot for me, because at the end of the day, that's where I want to get to. And against her, it's no different. I'm not just training for Shanna. I'm training for Valentina. I'm training for Molly McCann, hopefully next. I'm training for all these girls in the lineup that I want to fight in the future, not just Shanna. But I will say I'm surprised she took it. I am impressed she took it, and I'm glad that she decided to be my opponent. I've been looking for a fight forever. I had a lot of people that just didn't want to fight, and I'm in this weird spot in the rankings where I'm not ranked, yet I've beat a couple of the ranked girls, and nobody really wants to fight me. So,
Steve,
I don't sometimes like the hardest thing sometimes is getting past that top 10 thing, because you've beaten people in there. It's like they don't want to risk putting it in you because they don't want to lose their spot, and you're not quite there, so they don't.
Yeah, I'd say it's like
juice to get them going to.
Yeah, I'd say once I get to the top 15, I think it'll be a lot easier to find, because all those ranked girls will be interested in fighting me. But now the whole excuse is, well, she's not ranked, or she's not ranked, but she's as good as the ranked girls, so I don't want to fight her if I'm not ranked. So, you know, it goes both ways. I hope that I'm able to get the Molly McCann fight after this. She's going to fight Erin Blanchfield, which Erin beat me, and I think she's just going to maul Molly. Like, I think she'll finish her.
I love that. And speaking of it, how do you feel about this one with Shane Young? Obviously, you said you're surprised about it, but how do you know, if you could sit there and play out a perfect picture in your mind, how do you envision this fight playing out for you?
I see it being a TKO in the first minute or 2 minutes. I've been working on my striking so much. I feel like if I need to take it to the ground, there's no doubt that I can. But I plan on keeping it standing and just showing her a little bit of what I've learned here at this gym, at other gyms, and kind of show her my improvements over time, and also be able to show the whole audience, you know, how much I'm improving, but also that I am multi-talented. It's not just grappling. It's not just striking. I've got all of it, and I come in with power and to put on a show in front of the whole division.
I like that answer a lot, because in your first fight, you won via rear naked choke, right? And this time you're saying you want to finish her via TKO. So is that like a whole thing? Like, you don't want to bring it to the ground, you want to actually strike, and a lot of fans like that. So I think this is going to give a little more energy towards it and motivation for you as well. Am I right?
Yeah, and it's not that I won't take it down. Maybe I will, but I'm hoping that just in the couple minutes I'm using to feel her out and get to where I could get a takedown, that I'm going to catch her with something. And I feel like it's definitely a possibility. I'm looking at this card, and I'm thinking there's also a strong possibility I can get a bonus if I play my cards right. So I'm going to do the best I can to make that happen.
I roll with
It's a crazy thing, because here's Bobo. Bobo, we were back. You're in a white room. Are you safe, Bobo? Are you okay? Are you safe?
He's good.
I'm blinking twice. Send help. Send help. The big one is home. Good, and I'm in trouble. Look, I told y'all I went running from that vehicle. Every time me and Coach is outside training, we train up underneath the carport right there. I'll take you out there in a minute and show you the the little setup, my little gym. But we train via FaceTime, and I've got my little headset on every time. They'll go and to get in the car to leave. I'm like, my God, why can't y'all just give me 20 minutes? All I need is 20 minutes to finish my session. No, they go and they get in the car, and guess what? It connects straight to the car. Then it goes from me
Oh,
listening to coach's instructions to them listening in the car as they're driving down the road, coach instructing me. But, one of them things of life that we deal with. But no, look, man, life is way too short. Even my coworkers, we all do the same thing. We all have this conversation at one point or another. Life is way, way too short to be uptight, to be upset, to be in a mood that puts everybody around you in a tension filling environment. I mean, nobody got time for it, especially a person my size, man. You bring me in the room, you have everybody in the room laughing. You bring me in the room in a bad mood, all of a sudden the entire environment of the room changes
it goes
just
one of
because.
two ways. Yeah, it goes one of
Yeah,
two ways.
yeah, just because this big guy's in a bad mood now, all of a sudden, just the vibes he's putting off changes the mood of the entire room. There's 20 people in there. He just changed it because one big old sapsucker's in a bad mood. Man, I don't want to be like that. I want everybody around me to have fun. I have fun, but look, if you go out and you have a good time and just you having a good time, that's one thing. But if you can go out and have a good time and everybody around you is enjoying themselves too, oh, that's different. That's a different level of a good time there. Look, I'll put myself out a little bit to make sure that everybody around me is having a good time,
I
and that's
agree.
when things is real fun, man.
I got a
When you
personal question though.
come on,
Are you ready for it?
come
Okay.
on.
Always ready.
Me and Carrie and Steve were just talking about pickup lines. Last week we had Blake
Oh,
Builder who
man.
just got his UFC contract. What was your first pickup line with your wife? How did you approach her? Because before you answer, Blake told us the best way to go about it is the Forrest Gump approach, which is to approach a woman and say, "Hi, my name's Forrest. What's yours?" Or insert your name here. How did you and your wife meet? How did you go about it?
Y'all ain't gonna believe me, man. Dude, we y'all won't believe this. Okay, I'm gonna give you mine and my wife's whole dating story all the way up to marriage. Trust me, we got plenty of time for this one. Um, I created a profile on a site called Plenty of Fish,
I love
and
you on that website. Wow.
Carrie,
Like, I
oh my
love
god.
that actually like has a good relationship from that website. Go on. Sorry.
no, you're fine. Plenty of Fish. I created a website. Look, I'm gonna let y'all know something. There are a bunch of scallywags, male and female, on
Yes.
Plenty of Fish because I was approached several different times on Plenty of Fish. Hey, me and my family's going to Orange Beach. I see you're in Violet Battery. It ain't 45 minutes away. Won't you come? If you got vacation, take vacation from work. I'll put you up in a different condo. I'll give you $150 a day to go and do what you want to do. Then at nighttime, after the family goes to sleep, I'll come stay with you. I'm like, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it does.
But I'm not that guy. I'm sorry. Sometimes I wish I could have been. Maybe I don't know. I'm seeing what it was like. I was never that guy. I just couldn't. I'm sorry. Say what you want to about me. I just couldn't do that. That wasn't my cup of tea, bud, and I wasn't taking a sip of yours either. So I just couldn't do it. Well, after I don't know a dozen different requests like this. Like women, dude, I'm serious. I had so many women hit me up like, hey, look, I'm going out with some friends for a high school reunion this weekend.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Uh,
whoa, 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 whoa,
come
whoa,
on,
whoa. Did
come on.
you off the rip tell them you're a fighter? Do you use a fighter profile
No,
pic of like, oh baby, I
no,
like it rough, or
no,
what?
no.
What do you do? Clean
Look,
cut?
man. So what do you do for a living?
Me, I'm a Gonzo journalist. I live through you guys. I look for inspiration. I look for the stories that bring people up. Without it, I'm literally bedridden. I feed off inspiration from inspirational stories. My mom had me on mushrooms, so that has to be something to do with it. But besides, I'm just an artist, and all around
Time
looking
out.
for positive
Time
vibe.
out. Time out. Stop. You are screwing my whole story up. My whole point. I can't make it now. You just screwed my life up. Thank you.
My mom had
because now I know your answer to the question goes against what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, no.
but for a living, I'm a millwright. I'm a millwright for a living, a maintenance mechanic in a paper mill. I don't go to a woman right whenever I meet her, whenever I was in the dating scene, and try to be like, oh, I'm a millwright. You know, you want to go out with me, I can fix stuff. No, nobody care about that.
I mean, Carrie,
Yeah.
what would you think? Carrie, what would you think?
What?
You into that?
What?
If he approached you and said that, what's your response?
Listen, a guy that can fucking do something for
Yeah.
himself and actually can work and make something with his hands and do stuff, yeah, the fuck I'm into that. Do you want to know what I hear from half the time? Oh my God, these guys don't fucking.
My mom tells me I'm not a real man if I can't do
Six
things
of
around the
time.
house. I mean,
Well, but look, my whole point is I'm not going to come up to a woman and try to start, try to organically build something off of, hey, I'm a millwright, I'm a mechanic, I'm a welder. You're not going to go with any crap like that. So it's the same thing with fighting. It's just a way to make money is really all it is. So I'm not going to come up with that, hey, I'm a fighter. You can catch me on TV. No, nobody care about that, man. That's kind of gay a little bit if you ask me.
I see what you're saying.
So no, I wouldn't do any of that. But man, folks would get on there and these women just crazy, man. Oh my God, I was lean and mean and sex machine, I guess they thought. So I get all these different kind of offers.
Bobo, you
come on.
When you become the champ, you can't hide it. Don't tell me when you become the heavyweight champ, you're going to be able to hide this from anybody. You wouldn't be able to.
Yeah,
if you were a bachelor. Come on.
Which is awesome that I'm very, which is awesome that I'm very happily married now, very happy, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And you don't have to worry about any of the scallywag stuff. I'm like all them games and whatever. Well, anyhow, so I seen all that, and I get on there one night, and I'm like, you know what? I'm fixing to delete this thing, man. It seems like all anybody wants to do is get together and rub belly buttons, and just kind of not, it's kind of not my thing. I gotta have something in common with you. We gotta have, a relationship, something to build off of. I don't want to just get together and just rub belly buttons together like that. No. So get on there and go to delete. I'm gonna give it one last look. So I'm doing all the swiping left, I think it is, to get rid of them or whatever. And I'm swiping and get rid of them. And I go to swipe this one. I pull it back. I'm like, hold on, let me look at it. There's something going on here. I felt something. So I go to her profile. Look, I'm on Plenty of Fish. These jokers, all they want to do is rub belly buttons together. And this woman is going to talk about how God comes first in her life. Wow. The very next line says, no man will ever come before her son. Morals on here? Get down.
Points.
Yeah. She went straight to the top, bud. No, straight to the top. And then she was like, if you got a problem with that, you need to swipe left or whichever way. But otherwise, send me a message. We can talk. Inbox, hello, here I come. So I sent her a message. I'm like, hey, look, first of all, I'm not going to lie to you. Your physical appearance is what brought me to your profile. That's the first thing I've seen, Then once I read your about me, you just got beautiful. You came beautiful. All of a sudden, it's just amazing. You're gorgeous. I love what you stand for, and, hopefully I'll hear back from you. That's about just what I said.
That's a good pickup line, though. That was straightforward. Yeah, that was honest.
That's what I was doing. So I did that, and I set my phone on my chest right here, and I go back to watching TV. Look, about 5 minutes later, my phone vibrates. I'm like, who in the world is trying to message me this time of the night? I look down, and a Plenty of Fish notification. Oh, God, I dropped my phone trying to unlock it real quick. It was her.
The vibration, was your phone on your belly button? Was it rubbing your belly button?
It was sitting right here on my chest, right between my chesticles.
It was
rubbing belly buttons. I
Yeah.
love that. That's
Yeah,
that's
that-
actually an amazing story right there. That really is.
Look.
A lot.
So I'm gonna break it down for you real quick. Give you a real quick version of everything. I've sent her a message, PM part of January the 19th. We chat or December the 19th. We chatted on into December the 20th. Found out we had a mutual friend who brought her to Mobile. We met in person December the 22nd. I went and met her family on Christmas Day. There was another whole little backstory there, but it ended up I went and met her family on Christmas Day, December 25th. I went back the next weekend, asked her daddy, could I marry her? Then January the 15th, on her parents' anniversary, we ended up getting married.
Wow. So it was that perfect.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And look, I promised you, I wish I'd have found that fat joker about 10 years before I did. I really do.
Jerry,
I mean,
Let me
you
tell
bring
you should make a commercial for that website because you're like the only success story I've ever heard come off of that. And you're absolutely right. The quality of people on there is really fucked up.
yeah.
Man, the quality is like I haven't been on there in years, but like congratulations, that's huge.
Thank you, Mel. Yeah, it's like I promised you. There was this one girl, and I ain't gonna call her name. That ain't that kind of important. But there was this one girl. She, my about me was talking about church, and God comes first, and give my little about me, my little spill or whatever, how I am and who I am and all. Well, this joker sends me a message. She's like, "Hey, yeah, I'm a Baptist girl and in the church and everything." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Baptists, they can't do anything. Everything's a sin to a Baptist, so." Yeah, that'd be cool. Let's go on a date. So we went on a date, and next thing I know is she was like, okay, look, we're holding up this waitress's table. I think it's kind of unfair. I'm like, hey, I'm going to leave her a big tip, so it'd be okay. So, yeah, but let's go down the road. I got this place that I know that I hang out at, a little bit here and there. Let's go down the road, and we can hang out and talk here some. Cool, no problem. She knows somewhere where we can hang out. Cool.
This is a scary story. It might end up being a scary story.
Well, that's what I was thinking too on the way down there. Dark roads and all. Look, bud, we pull up to this place on this little strip mall, and it's dark on the inside with a few little neon lights. I'm like, no, not one of these, no. Yeah. We go in there.
Yeah,
look,
you said yeah.
Look, not only did we go into the bar there,
You
but
said I already left my big tip.
look, yeah. Look, as we're walking in, people is calling her by name.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that.
I'll see you later, Suhan.
Yeah, that kind of Baptist. Oh.
I already left my singles at the restaurant.
Yeah, I don't want to come back here no more. So anyhow, we hung out, stayed, and we hung out a little bit or whatever. And I drink a beer or two here and there, and I think I did have like half a beer, and I wasn't feeling it, bud. I'm sorry, I wasn't feeling it at all, and I was kind of yeah. She said, "Well, it was nice hanging out with you. Call me tomorrow."
Yeah, sure.
Sit by your phone and hold your breath, babe.
As you get home and start crying in the shower. Yeah.
Dude, I was like 55 minutes from home by the time we went to her little spot. Man, I'm like, got tears coming out my eyes all the way home. I'm like, I finally went on a date with one of these Plenty of Fish girls, one that seemed okay, and she just wasn't, and I screw that site. I'm finna go home and delete it. And so the next weekend, I went to go delete it and found my wife who was, look, so, funny story, all of about 7, we got married, 15 days after we met, something like that, something stupid like that. All of about 7 or 8 days after we met, she's like, so what are we? I was like, well, I'm a human, I think you're a human. It's kind of, that's the vibe I'm getting. I don't think you're an alien, but these days, who's to say?
A belly button.
Yeah, you do got a belly button. I saw your belly button. You want to rub on mine? The answer is no.